Very often people have problem starting, problem of go into direction they want to go. So they look of empty screen and don't know where to start for copy. They just don't. They struggle to feed ChatGPT with this content. So this is why I created an app for the ChatGPT, so it can give you frameworks, because ChatGPT needs framework. ChatGPT usually on its own is not very good in guessing frameworks. You need to have a framework essentially to work with ChatGPT. So let's start with something which is very important for everybody, which is VSL. Let me make a project actually. Start a new project. Let's call it sales script for video. VSL simply. And this is a framework which let you go through it with organized process with ChatGPT. So we call it snaps because we are small and snappy essentially. What we'll be trying to do now is to understand the process. This is important. We'll be writing with ChatGPT. This simple framework has this: beginning with the questions, agitate the problem, show why existing solution doesn't work, reveal the new solution, introduce the product, introduction on the product on the presentations, what makes the product better, describe what makes it unique, reiterate with bullet points, customer testimonials, money back guarantee, scarcity and the call to action, and the reminder plus final call to action. So as you see, it is one of the structures which you have, but you have right now because I showed you, right? This is a structure. And the main thing is to go step by step in ChatGPT. It's so easy. So if you are writing any sales letter, you need to begin with the questions. And to spark your creativity and also give you kind of a snaps ready, I have many different snaps. So if you see, it's begin with a caption. So what you do, you ask questions. You have several questions for different markets here. I will not go through all of them, but I will give you questions which doesn't have blank to fill and those who have. This is important. So our first example here, first few does not have fill blank. So it's very specific for only one case. So I will do only one example of a specific, then you go fill the blank further there. So are you tired of launching new products that never seems to produce a volume of sales are you looking for, right? So if you have a snap, you really can just preview it. This one is specifically for launches. We'll show you other examples when you fill the blank for the concept. So it is not only giving you a framework to work step by step, but it's giving you kind of framework within the framework, so to speak, seed framework, micro framework. Write this in Gary Halbert style. It's so easy. This is all you type. Just paste it and you are done. One of 12 steps and you are done. Snaps are meant to give ChatGPT inspiration, so ChatGPT can have something to work with, like a seed of a plant. Plant seed, it is growing. So I will read you this part. I will not do the other parts. But this is, you will see how powerful, I will make it bigger, how powerful those seeds are. So let me read it. Are you absolutely fed up to the back teeth with rolling out one new product after another, only to watch them flounder when they should be flying off the shelves? I feel your pain. Guys, just right there is very emotional. I told you, selling, especially hook, must be emotional. If you don't catch them in 3 seconds, 5 seconds, they are gone. They don't watch. Are you fed up to the back of the teeth? Not just fed up to the back. It means like very, very deep, right? And so on and so forth. It has this storytelling in it. You almost feel the pain of this person. You're not targeting everybody. This specific piece, this specific seed is targeting those who already felt the pain. They know it. If they read it, very first sentence, they identify exactly with that. So they identify with this specific pain, right? You are kind of standing to the side. You are not trying to look on them from the top. I am the guru and Watch me standing on this pedestal. You don't want to do that. So I'm teaching you how to use snaps with ChatGPT, but at the same time, I'm feeding you copywriting in general. So you're standing kind of beside the person. That makes sense, right? But here is the kicker. Every single product I shoved out of the nest over the past 12 months has spread its wings and soared straight into the open wallets of delighted customers. Now, how different is that from saying I sold 100,000 this last month? How different is that? Now, don't you feel a tingle of envy? Well, back it up, my friend, because I'm pulling back curtain, ready to spill the beans on my own secret recipe for product success. You better prepare yourself for some serious aha moments. Guys, this is opening the loop, kind of rubbing the wound, because if we are targeting the right market, we'll immediately not only identify with this, but we feel the pain because we use the right snap with ChatGPT. I hope you see how powerful it is. Guys, I get how this opening is super strong. So let me do the next one and explain you something different. What is important is the framework, not the words, unless you don't have any words, don't have the snippets. So what I will do now, I will go to a completely different example, but in second step. I will not do all the steps because it's too long. So we remind them on the main problem. So on the second one, we are agitating the problem. I can continue with the same script, but I will show you different bits so you see that this is applied to wider range of niches. So this time we use for the plumber, but we'll start with the second step. But you can think about anything. For the second step, agitate the problem, but for a plumber. So you can imagine what was the first step. First step was the plumber, something is leaking, you feel the pain, right? And then you show how to fix it. And I will do it right. And Gary, Halbert, style. Guys, don't use Halbert every time because it doesn't make sense. Use copywriter, it makes sense. Now ChatGPT, that is grabbing the wound of somebody who has a leaking sink. We are selling our services as a plumber. Picture this. You are tucked in your bed, but there is this incessant drip, drip, drip. It's a cruel symphony playing on repeat, ignoring your sanity. You're resting with a stubborn faucet. So you see how powerful it is to do it for the plumber in this case. So this is how the second part of the plumber says that it would go. And you see this entire text, but the only way ChatGPT was able to write this like a story-based, emotional, like heart-touching copy was because of what? Because of a snap. This app can write your entire copy without AI. You don't need AI to tweak it a bit and write entire copy, entire thing for every framework in this app. You don't need it. But luckily, we have AI, and now AI took my frameworks, took all I did before AI, and like skyrocketed it 10 times, 100 times. Because every time you rewrite it, it's different, even if you use the same copywriter. But everybody will be using different copywriters and for different niche. So probability that you have the same copy with anybody else using PitchKickstart is next to nothing. Because it is Kickstart for the pitch. Exactly what it is, I showed you. You are kickstarting your pitch with everything you have here. And later, with more choices for the same step, you have these brackets. You see, example 5. Example 5 for step 2 of 12-step framework. Guys, imagine how much stuff you have here. We are now talking about example 8 in step 2 in 12-step framework. Point is I will be getting example 8. So example 8 has filling the blank. Can you think of anything more discouraging than blank? I have problem right here. It's rough feeling like negative feeling, fill the blank, every time negative outcome. So this one is not only the scene, but is a seed template. So as you notice, at the beginning of each feed, we are getting like entire example of something already written. So easy to start. They start to be templates. Templates of a template. So not only we have all these levels of content, but also even on the lowest level, like right here, we have template because you can feel it. So let's do it for step 3. So what I will do, I go to step 3, which is show why existing solution doesn't work. Okay, so let's try this one. We'll be continuing with step 3. Continue this sales script with this formula. You may use both your internal knowledge and plugins. Write with formula in following text. And now, the text, dot first. You may use both internal knowledge and plugins. Continue writing. Here is the formula. I'm repeating again, formula. So it is right, it's done. Done for the step. It is normally longer than the snap. And this time, the snap is just the formula. Let me show it again. This is template on the formula in the form of the snaps. And this is formula template, and we just use it. And let's see what ChatGPT did. As exasperating as it is, the truth is there hasn't been a straightforward, packet-friendly alternative to the so-called quick fixes. And the cost is like they are burning a hole right through your wallet. This just makes it an uphill battle for the everyday Joe and Jane. Guys, I will keep going, but I will explain maybe this paragraph from copywriting standpoint of view how powerful it is. It is essentially comparing plumbing to PhD. Could you imagine what the copywriter in form of ChatGPT is doing? It is making the simpler thing more complicated thing. Super complicated, so don't even try. And the next one is the cost. Super expensive. So all those right triggers in this step 3 from this formula or template, whatever you want to call it. But what I want to say that every other point, every other framework, every other sub-framework, you just copy paste to the ChatGPT. Guys, if somebody get to this point, we got them 70% the way to buy. 70% the way to buy. So unless you screw up the next part and the solution which you give sounds not easy, only the rest must be strong, but they keep going. So you go to example 5, and the remaining example are templates, frameworks, kind of micro frameworks, so to speak, and use them with your context. Are you able, after you know what you're selling, and you have already a product, guys, are you able to have a product type and product title to fill the blanks? Have to fill this product type with your product type and with your product title. But because you did the steps earlier, ChatGPT already knows your niche, already knows your stuff. So because you are prompting in order, step by step, as you have in the framework, you use those snippets from steps from a framework. You don't just go random. ChatGPT is building the knowledge about your product. I am pretty sure 9 of 10 times ChatGPT will be able to give you amazing description of your product. And then you can reiterate with bullet points. So those are those bullet points. Those are a kind of reminder what we are getting, a list, because usually people are able to remember the last thing and maybe before thing, but they kind of start forgetting things they actually saw through our presentation. So this is meant to remind them what they are getting. When you have money back guarantee, this is like standard things, but it will be triggered like with a story. If you're not super excited, if you give only one drip, if you get money back or something like this. So like guarantee is also kind of selling the product, scarcity, the call to action, reminder, and so on. Guys, this is how it works. I think it's very, very powerful. And there are so many frameworks. Every framework essentially is like this. But there's so much to it. And also, of course, you can make emails After you have both your copy done, then you just ask ChatGPT, now write me 10 emails based on the copy. And then when you have super emails, because email will have all those points from your sales copy. So the frameworks you have here in my product, I will leave it, I will not save it. Now you understand what it is. It's amazing. 11 step sales letter framework, 12-step VSL framework, bullet point framework, explaining video framework, Facebook ad framework, headline frameworks, lead page framework, retargeting framework, social video ads, upsell VSL, VIP libraries scripts, webinar framework, and those are all frameworks. And now to wrap it up, how great it is, those VIP frameworks includes VIP, which you get. They include all the body of works on my all copies. This is 2014, so it's 9 years. Copy which is in this is everything which sold, all copies which sold 8 figures, cut down. Cutting is first to the steps, right? And then cutting to those examples. On these examples, like those snaps, and then making some of the snaps, most of the snaps, like a micro frameworks, templates. So you can do anything with those. And there's one more thing. In 2017, I was busy. So I hired copywriter. I didn't have time to write. And I paid cash. I have proof from my bank transfers. I paid $52,000. Many transfers. Usually, the front-end copy was $5,000. And each OTO was $2,500. I paid him. Actually, the guy is 8-figure copywriter. Now he is running a 9-figure company as the CEO. But he was writing for me at the time. It was 5 products. For 5 products, he made those copies for me. Amazing. Product did very, very well. Each of them, we saw amazing. And we decided to include all these 4 inside these VIP libraries.